Hello, welcome to my family, with my family and friends, and adversaries. Um, Getting away from the Idaho case a little bit here. It's something I've been wanting to do, and this is about my son's murder, but it's going to be in different parts, and this is part one. And I'm going to kind of go over who Joe was. Um, he was Joseph Thomas Rene Reuter. He was born on March 31st, 1980, and he was murdered on December 19th, 1998. Um, we buried him on Christmas Eve day with all his gifts. He was 18, and kind of go over a little bit what Joe was. He was like the best little baby you could ever imagine. Always smiling. Um, didn't keep us up at night, and he was just awesome little baby. Um, if he had a choice, and my parents owned a grocery store, okay, and we worked there both, me and the mother of Joe and another son of mine, Brad, and um, so we bring him to the store and we put him in the cart thing, and he knew what candy bars were, of course, but if you offered him a choice of a banana and a candy bar, he would take the banana. That was just Joe, you know. He was very excitable, when he would talk about movies. He'd tell you a movie he went to, he'd be just talking fast and telling you all about the movie and stuff. And um, yeah, I miss his spirit, Um, he had um, he had a girlfriend, and girls trusted him when they had a problem. I mean, they'd sneak in his bedroom window, because he was always a shoulder to cry on. Um, he loved, loved this Sega, and then he got PlayStation, and that's as far as it went there. The very first PlayStation. Um, but he loved his gaming. You know, he was a teaser. He loved to tease. My band was playing at a huge jam, or no, actually, it was the year before, because we were contracted, but we were playing really close to where the jam was at this club, and he came in all excited. He said, Dad, ZZ Top made a surprise stop, and they flew in on a helicopter, and they did a set up there, and I was like, oh wow, man, that's really freaking awesome. And so I was around town telling people about this and stuff, and there's this one gal that I know, and she come up and she goes, I ran lights. She goes, CC Top never showed up. Here I was going around town. And I seen him, I said, oh, you little shit. He just laughed and laughed. You know, he was just, he was a prankster. Um, People just ate him up and loved him. Um, I'm going to have his mother, I hope she comes on live with me. Um, I talked to her a little while ago. She goes, I don't know about that. So, if anything, I'll get some quotes from her. Because there's some questions I'd like to ask her about Joe, um, and feelings about things. Um, it was a very political case. We did put in a lawsuit. Just so you know, he was murdered by 5 security guards at a native casino, and very political. And I will get into that later. Um, I fell down a bad road. Um, After that, trying to like numb out and stuff, and I OD'd 3 times and some pretty rugged days. And I know there's people out there that have gone through that and are going through it. Never leaves you. Went through 3 years of therapy, um, pretty intense therapy, 3 times a week for the first year, 2 times a week for the second year, and 1 time a week for the third. And that helped me somewhat. And that was after the case was over, which, like I said, I will get into. And I have it was in the Law and Politics magazine, Minnesota's Law and Politics magazine. Um, but with Joe, you just had to know him. He was so excited. Well, I got a video I'm going to show you, and I'm hoping I don't get flagged for it or anything. Um, Shows you who Joe is. He loved his dad. He worshipped the ground I walked on. We went fishing all the time. That was our thing. We went fishing and fishing. Maybe I'll tell you about a dream I had after. That was very spiritual. And it was just crazy. Um, yeah, he loved to fish. He loved fishing. Uh, had a snowmobile, of course. Living in Minnesota, you got to have a snowmobile, right? And I remember I took him out to this wayside rest, and I had him drive it, and I was on the seat behind him. He must have been all 6 years old, and he he couldn't like squeeze it a little bit. It was full blast or nothing. So he'd punch it and wait, go like that, and he'd laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. Then he'd punch it again, laugh and laugh and laugh. That was oh yeah. I was living out in a little cabin, and he came and visited me one night with a friend. Wanted me to do him a favor, and I couldn't at the time because my bass player was there. And so he left, and I knew he was going he had a room at the casino. And I don't know what time it was, 8:30, 9:30 in the morning, 7:30. I can't even, it's a blur. My bass player came, knocking, pounding on my door, come in, and he just looked at me and said, "I'm sorry." He goes, "Joel's dead," and grabbed me, and I'm like, "Joel's dead." I was thinking of a couple other Joels, and I wasn't thinking my son. And he looked at me and said, "Your son Joel is dead." All I remember is jumping up and down. I got in the bed, and I was jumping up and down the bed saying, "You're a fucking liar. You're a fucking liar. He's not dead." And I raced to town, and went to Barb, his mom's, and her boyfriend was Mike. We got along really good, and bless his soul too. And I walked in and it kind of seemed normal at first, and I was like looking around. And I looked over what we used to call Mike Fiddler. And I looked at Fiddler, and he just said, it's true. It's gone. And it's something, I mean, you just don't ever forget. Um, the case took 5 years where we had to read, his autopsy reports, and how they cut his brain open and how they did this and that. And it was really rugged, and I just went down a really bad road, and but yeah, anyway, I'm going to play a video I made 13 years ago. It was like a memorial to Joe. And because I want you to know Joe, and that's why I kind of wanted Barb to be here. And I might get some statements from her later. Um, and I might get some statements from, I mean, he had three brothers and a sister, too. My other kids, Brad and Julian and Jacob and Jessica. They were all very young. But they remember him. And Joe always stuck up for his little sister from the other boys. Joe was oldest, and he just, he always stuck up for his little sister. Anyway, I'm going to run this, and I'm hoping it goes through without too much trouble, I don't know how to get my picture out of there. I don't really want my picture in there, and I think if I remove it, then it might stop my mic or something. I don't know. Might even stop the recording. I don't know how to get it out of there. Oh, here we go.
Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you. That is how I know you go. Far across the distance and spaces between us, you have come to show you go on. Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that the heart does go on. Once more, you open the door, and you're here in my heart, and my heart will go on and on. Love can touch us one time and last for a lifetime, and never let go till we're gone. Love was when I loved you one true time. I hold you in my life will always go on. Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that the heart does go on. Once more, you open the door, and you're here in my heart, and my heart will go on and on. There's nothing I fear, and I know that my heart will go on. We'll stay forever this way. You are safe in my heart, and my heart will go on and
Yeah, it's my son, and I'm gonna. There's gonna be different parts to this, and I'm gonna get a little more into Joe and who he was, because he was really special, and then I will go over the case with you and how things are so messed up. Um, yeah. So anyway, this is part one. Um, I hope you got to know Joe a little bit, and I'm signing up. I don't know how to get out of this whole. There we go. I'm signing off. Yeah, have a good weekend, you guys. Okay, I love you.